Good morning. Today is Monday, February 13th, 2023. I am with the man, the legend, YouTube's most famous watch guy, Mr. Nico Leonard.
What an introduction. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Nico, how are you today?
I'm doing very well. It is really nice weather in Philly.
It's amazing. It's almost like spring came early.
Yes, exactly. Last year, I was exactly the same time here last year, and it was freezing.
Yeah.
It was snow and everything.
It was freezing a couple days ago, and suddenly the weather turned and it looks amazing.
Listen, the sunshine comes to Philly. I brought it with me.
It's probably that whole global warming thing they're talking about.
No, it's just me.
It's you. Yeah, you brought it straight from Ireland. First of all, congratulations on all the success. Congratulations on the newborn son.
Thank you very much.
If you take a look at me, this is how tired you're going to look when he's 3 years old. I mean, I have not gotten sleep, and now it's probably been about 7 years, but this is after last night of him just nonstop coughing and bothering me and wanting to sleep with us.
That would break my heart when your child is sick.
It's the worst.
I haven't been in that situation yet, but I mean, that would absolutely break my heart.
There's nothing worse than seeing your child not being able to like breathe through their nose, and that's like when you're like, oh my God, when you don't have like a stuffed nose, that's like the best time ever. Like you really appreciate having like the ability to breathe.
Exactly.
But yeah, you feel really bad for him, and especially like, it keeps you up all night. I feel even worse. Obviously, again, congratulations on all the success. What is, I guess just to get to the bottom of it, what's the story? How did you get into this? How'd you get into, let's go first with watches, and then how'd you get into the YouTube game?
Now, watches is one of my biggest passions since I was a very young age. Trying to fix watches, taking watches apart. I was not doing very well at school, but I loved Lego, and I don't know if you actually have that here.
Lego?
In America, called Connects or something.
Oh, yeah. Connects are fun. They're still fun.
Exactly. Like, I loved playing with that stuff as a kid. And the same is for mechanical movements. I was fixing like the analog cameras and stuff like that. Not fixing, I was taking them apart. But that's where it started for me.
So that kind of wound up, you getting into the business of working with watches, or
no,
selling
like
watches?
that has been an entire journey that is actually quite nuts, because like I don't really come from a background where expensive watches was a norm. Mm-hmm. So I wasn't like, it wasn't really my destiny. Oh, sorry, Mike. It wasn't really my destiny or anything realistic to work with watches, and I didn't finish college or university either.
Okay.
So that wasn't the norm. I came into this more like a last resort.
Okay. Are you still as passionate about watches now that you've been dealing with them for so long and like working in the industry? Nothing has changed?
more than ever.
Really?
Yeah,
a lot of times people kind of get like, not bored, but they just get tired of the daily grind when it becomes a job rather than a hobby.
Yeah, but a passion is something you can do every single day for 24 hours, and you can do this the rest of your life. Now, this is my life, and I absolutely love every single bit of it.
And we love watching it. Tell me,
appreciate that.
What's the YouTube story? How did you get started? What happened?
YouTube was more a necessity as well, because it was born out of a situation where we needed to do marketing, because our shop had to close because of COVID. And to give you an idea, before every retail location closed in the UK, it was hospitality that had to close first. Mm-hmm. Now, my shop is located in a hotel. That meant that the hotel was closing and I couldn't open my shop. No one was allowed in the hotel, obviously. Mm-hmm. So we had to find alternative ways to market and to sell watches. And YouTube was the most obvious.
Really? I would assume, like, if I was in your position, like, my first thing would be like, okay, well, let me try Instagram.
Instagram. Yeah. We were already active on Instagram.
Okay,
we saw that the inquiries weren't increasing. So you find different methods and different ways. I'm not going to lie. I didn't believe in YouTube at all. I didn't believe that it would be a success. And I said no for at least 2-3 months.
Did somebody tell you that you have the personality for YouTube? Do you have the personality to entertain?
Entertain was different, right? Because I always tried to be a clown my entire life, and people like it or people hate it. Whatever, in every subject in life, I always try to, like, to be funny, I actually think this comes out of insecurity. You want to be the center of the attention because you're insecure about something. If I really look at myself, and that's absolutely correct in my case anyway. And I've seen that throughout my school career or my football or whatever. I felt the need to be the center of the attention to overcompensate for some form of insecurity.
Well, congratulations. You are the center of attention when it comes to YouTube.
It's unbelievable, and I love it.
It has to be amazing. And
can I just say the insecurities are not going anywhere? They're still there, but it's...
But you're overcoming them one video at a time.
Yes, it's not always easy. But.
Let me ask you, I mean, so getting into YouTube, you could have gotten into anything. You could have been another Teddy Baldassar. You could have been another, and take any watch, enthusiast or any watch YouTuber. What guided you to doing the review with the entertaining, spin on it? That it wasn't just, here is this watch, let's talk about it. It looks beautiful. Like, you could have been another Talking Hands.
I can't take credits for that because that wasn't my idea at all. It was like the creative team that we have. And,
awesome.
And they looked at what is currently on the market and what is not being used properly. And the funny bit is, I remember the first conversations. I'm like, who will watch that stuff? No one. I never believed in that. And that is quite funny if you now look back to it, because now we have posted several vlogs in a row and people think, is he not doing reaction videos anymore? And you see these comments, I miss these.
Of course.
It's really, really cool. But yes, we're including more and more and more.
Yeah, because once you do something, people want to see how you live, how you run your business, what your day-to-day is like.
Yeah.
This might be a tough question, but do you consider yourself a YouTuber that sells watches or a watch dealer that does YouTube videos?
I consider myself a watch collector. I consider myself a watch enthusiast, and I consider myself as a watch dealer. The funny bit is I only really deal with 2-3 customers nowadays because the team is taking a lot, doing a lot of the other watch dealing. And 2022 was quite of a rough year where I was a bit lost personally, and that meant that my work was completely different. And I don't want to confuse myself. We are a watch business, and I am a watch dealer, and that's where it started. You never forget where you come from, and YouTube allowed us and perpetuated us into the stratosphere, and it allowed us to do more business than we've done before, which is an incredible fact, and I'm very grateful for that. But I do think first and foremost I'm a watch dealer, but I do want to do more media stuff now as well on the side next to it. It's like Gordon Ramsay being a chef, first and foremost, but also being a TV personality. I think you can identify yourself in both.
Okay. Have you ever spoken about it publicly? Like which has the higher revenue stream? Like, is it?
Yeah, I've spoken about this publicly.
You have.
Yeah. At the moment, I've never taken a penny of the table at Pride and Pinion, and still today, but I have with the media company because. Like, I just became a father, right? I never bought a house in my life. It wasn't even in the possibilities for me, nor financial possibilities. And then I moved to a different country, which is Ireland or Northern Ireland. And then I couldn't get a mortgage because I didn't have a steady job. And then I didn't take money off the table with Pride and Pinion. So far, my tax returns were low because, I never took really money off the table. And a lot of stuff that I do is paid by the companies. So now I'm becoming more an adult, and now I'm a father. Now I have responsibilities. My life is not mine anymore. So I need to make sure that there's a solid house, and there's a lot of other things. And yeah, the media company allowed us to do all that.
Awesome.
And the Pride and Pinion is legacy level. That's different.
Very nice. Lots of respect for, I guess, I don't want to call it maturing, but you taking on that responsibility with such vigor, and just saying, okay, again, the fact that you just said my life is not mine anymore, I feel like there's a lot of people that don't really feel that way. I mean, I completely agree with the way you're doing, and everything I do now, I do for my family, I do for my children.
I've learned a lot from the people I have around me, and including Roman, how he and his family is something I very much look up to. And last year, me and my missus were here, and funny enough, she was pregnant, or she became pregnant, and we all looked back, and it's like, it happened in Philly, mate.
Wow.
It happened in Philly.
So Roman is responsible for your firstborn.
The funny bit is, and I remember a long conversation with Anna and Roman, right? Is like, she thought she was pregnant before, about 2 weeks prior for me coming to Philly last year. And I was really angry. I was like, I'm not ready for this, and blah, blah. And then 2 days later, she came back and brought me the news she wasn't pregnant, and I was heartbroken. And I came to Roman, and you know the late night talk, right? Really late in the evening, you sit there on a table having a drink, and I'm like, you know what? Like, I don't understand why I had that emotion. And he said, and Anna actually said, like, because you're actually ready for it.
Yeah. You don't know when you're ready, but you find out real quick.
3 weeks later, she was pregnant. It's funny, like.
Any plans on more?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah. I want to have. I want several children, but quite close to each other. Yeah.
Amazing. I mean, again, somebody that has that. Like, I have 2 daughters that are 1 year apart, and then a son that's 3 years apart from them. It's amazing. I mean, to have them close together, you have like best friends or enemies, one or the other.
Like, for me, that is that. Like, they'll always be friends in the end, right? Because family, there's nothing like family, right? I've seen that with Roman. Like, I've never had that feeling. My sister and I are 10 years apart, and there's periods in life we've never really communicated, really. And I'm live in a different country. Long story short, right? But seeing Roman and that is as a father, that's how I would like to have my family as well.
It is a great example, and I wish you all the luck and success in that.
Appreciate that.
So I'm interviewing Andrew Morgan in a little bit, and Andrew Morgan is somebody that publicly stated that he originally hated what you were doing, with the whole watch content and the YouTube. And then he made a complete 180 degree turn, and he praises your achievements, praises you for the support that you've provided him, and actually credits you for making him go out on his own and create his own channel. How do you feel about that? How does that make you feel?
It makes me very proud, right? Because that is something that people kind of misunderstood, I think, in the beginning. Maybe we haven't broadcasted the message in the beginning really well, that it's all about sharing passion and bringing new people in the watch world, right? The watch world and the watch game is just a fight for someone's wrist. So let's find more wrists.
More wrists, yeah.
Right? It's simple. Making people enthusiastic about watches and speaking their language, right?
Yeah.
And Andrew, for me, has been vital in my journey to owning my own business for the first time. And being a success in the watch world because of the videos and the achievements the big stuff he has achieved with Watchfinder. And for me, I always I watched every single one of his videos. I don't think that there's any watch channel I've watched more than him, or any YouTube channel in particular I've watched more than him. And indirectly, he became the voice of the watch world. Yes. And for me, he is the voice of the watch world. He is a storyteller. It's unbelievable. And the fact last year he invited me and myself and Stephen to Watches and Wonders, and we had the pleasure to meet him and to talk about life and stuff like that. And I was like, Andrew, you're doing this for Watchfinder, right? Maybe it's time to get out on your own, because you don't realize how important your voice actually is. This is why I try to encourage him to realize that, and to gain that confidence and to get on camera. People like people, right? Yes. People like to see it faced, and not like Hans. I get it, right? And that's your thing. That's why you need to start something for yourself, which you don't realize where you'll end up, because I didn't realize when I started, where I would end up.
Yeah, but you got to start somewhere.
Yeah, and I just want to make sure, and it's not just Andrew Morgan, which I consider a very, very good friend of mine now. But for me, I always looked up to him and his stories, and what a guy. But for everyone that wants to go in a YouTube game, and anyone that is passionate about anything in life in general, get yourself out there. Start thinking not about yourself. Start thinking how you can add value to an industry, and absolutely push that. 100%. Because it's adding value at first, and if you add enough value, you will be rewarded.
I can't imagine how many new people you've brought into horology and into becoming even amateur watch enthusiasts that have never even considered it, just from your videos themselves. I mean, to me, Andrew was the original ASMR. You just watch it and it's just so calm, and his voice, and the hands and the voice were all you had, and it was just, it's always been amazing to watch that stuff. I'm actually a big fan of his new channel and all the stuff that he's doing there, and it's definitely picking up. So you're the most popular YouTuber in the watch industry. What is the next great feat that you're going to take?
That's funny that you asked that, because a few months ago we were a bit lost, right? I was like, what are we doing? We're just like, I'm known for a certain thing, right? We'll never stop that, but we'll increase and we'll come up with insanely cool concepts. Like Johnny, our YouTube lead, what a guy. I mean, we come up with so many new concepts, and if we get companies to support that concept, we can actually go and do Mr. Beast type of stuff.
Yep.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not an arrogant prick and thinking that we would ever reach that level, don't get me, but that type of concept, we can actually do that, but we need some backing of businesses that to support certain videos, which will allow us to add a lot of value to the industry and bring in even more watch collectors.
Yeah, I think that would be amazing.
Watch enthusiasts.
Like, that would be amazing to see Mr. Beast types, videos with the whole, watch concept behind it.
Yeah.
5 years from now, where are you? What are you doing? Who are you?
Pride and Pinion will have several locations across the world. Stephen and I will be more calm than we are now. Stephen has picked up a lot of my work in the last year and a half, where I wasn't always well, let's put it that way. But in 5 years from now, we will still be the biggest in the YouTube game. Very simple. Stephen will run the company. Johnny will run our media side of things. We will have expanded our media company massively, not just YouTube. And my son will be 5 years old, and hopefully I will be blessed with 2 more children.
Amazing. I'm so happy to hear this. I mean, the dream is big, and I think you're going to be able to achieve it. I don't see anything stopping you.
There is nothing that will stop us. You just make sure that whatever you want, you work for it. You fucking work for it. Try not to swear. I couldn't.
It's okay. You don't. No filters here. I hope that we're, obviously, that Roman's always here to support. He's always here to provide his help. All of our team here is always here to provide any sort of help to you. I can't wait to see what's going to be next. I'm very excited.
I appreciate that, and I appreciate all the help from Roman. Roman is like family to me. Honestly, it means so much to me, and to my missus as well. And seeing the team and seeing how many steps you guys made already, it's inspiring to see this in a year.
Yeah.
Because the business was different a year ago. And keep in mind, you guys doubled, more than doubled. And honestly, it's inspiring to see.
It's also scary.
I love scary.
We're a little scared, obviously, like, I brought on a ton of people because, again, we're growing all the media that we're doing and everything that we're doing. And at the same time, I'm like, holy crap, like, what happens if this whole crazy recession that everybody's talking about is going to actually happen? What's going to happen to us?
Stop worrying about factors you can't change. You need to work on the business, and that's it, right? There's always people that want to buy watches, even in a recession. It's your task. There's always people in a recession that want to buy watches. It's your task to find those people, and that's what you do with media, and that's what we do with media on our side of the world.
It works. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap this up. Everybody that is watching, that is listening, you can find Nico on YouTube at Nico Leonard. Nico, thank you so much for taking a few minutes to sit down with me today. I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Have a great week. Enjoy your trip back, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, mate.
Take
appreciate
care.
that.